Hello everybody, welcome. Alan Robson with you. Welcome to The Ghost Historian. We are out again behind the camera. We have the man with whom the show would not be the same without, Hollywood Tony McShane. Kenny is just arriving here as well. Kenny D. My name's Alan Robson. Thanks for coming with us. We have been hunting for strange paranormal things for about 30 years before anybody even thought about it. However, we're here on Holy Island. We're next, of course, to the very famous Abbey here. This place, an absolutely tremendous and very, very different place. This used to be known, this is like 1,000 years ago, before the Christians came. This was the Healing Islands. It had several names, including Lindisfarne, which is a beautiful name. Lindisfarne as we know it today. Before that, we had several names. One that meant the Healing Islands, because this whole place was filled with plants that could heal you. And this was very similar for what those on Tyneside might call North Shields and South Shields, because the people that came to this island were fisher folk. And they came here and they'd fish, and they'd stay here for a while in shields. A lot of people think North Shields, you know, like it's some kind of weapon. A shield is a small little building where fishermen could spend the night. They didn't have to rent it. It wasn't like a travel lodge. You didn't get your breakfast in the morning. It was just a shack. And this place had plenty of them. Just recently, they found a murder field here, an ancient cemetery, since we were last here, with... Ooh. Did you hear a bell there? Yeah. Did you hear a bell? Sounded like a phone. Was it a phone? That's all right. Getting into it early. So, they found an area here on Holy Island where they found more bones, as if there haven't been enough laid down here. We're literally surrounded by them. Now, we found many more stories. I went looking for ghosts and we found more ghost stories about a place that we dabbled in last time, but we want to spend a little bit more time in today. Something else that we've been asked to do. The very last part of our show, when we're driving back across the causeway, people say that the most haunted place... Now, the island has ghosts aplenty, and hopefully we will see them and we'll hear them ourselves tonight. Keep your eyes peeled in all directions. We'll be seeking them out. That's what we do in search of spirits. But the mud flats, the causeway that you have to drive over, which I don't know about you, Tony, but I thought it was spooky as hell.
Very.
Just driving across, it's like you're holding on. You don't want a wheel to go off on either side. Bizarre. But they say that because so many people have died on the causeway, thousands, literally thousands of people over the years, because a lot of people would come to the island not knowing about the tides. And they'd, some strange bit of noise in the background there, and they'd get halfway across the causeway, the tide would come in and sweep them to their death. This was long before they'd put a tower up halfway across for you to scramble up and then wait, I presume, till the next morning. So come with us. Let's have an amazing time. We got a bit of a challenge first.
Have you seen whose grave that is?
Whose grave is that, Ken?
That's the Lord of the Manor of Holy Island.
Wow.
There you go, look, Lord of the Manor of Holy Island.
Yeah, the Lord of the Manor. And you would imagine that only people with a little bit of money would get a site like this. Look all around you. You've got a church on one side. Let's see if we can get into the church. The church has got a few stories attached to it, but there's a challenge we've all got to take to see whether or not we'd make good husbands, because there's something we missed the last the last time we were here. We certainly didn't do it. What a place, what a building, and what an amazing cemetery. I think it'll be locked. It isn't locked.
It isn't?
It isn't locked.
This is where I came out.
Ah, it is. It is.
This is where I came when I was little. Once.
And look at where people have visited the place. People from all over Europe, Australia, New Zealand. Way down here, that's the Falkland Islands, if you were wondering. The Malvinas. Wonderful. Not at all surprised. I find it interesting. You know, we were here for less than 5 minutes, and I've got 3 photographs of a full apparition.
Straight away, I know.
I took 3 photographs before we started, from just up here beside the.
Put them on so people can see them.
I will, absolutely. We'll put them on the blah. Mausoleum. Now all of these areas that we go to have stories attached to them. One about a hacked off arm, amazing story about a hacked off arm that I'll get to when we get round the corner and we meet Saint Aidan, who's waiting there for us. Look at this, Freemason, medieval placard with a knight's helmet, spears, swords, and that tells you all you need to know. MacDonald, a knight. Can we work out who it is, Kenny?
Yeah, I wish I could. You'd like to see a name on there, wouldn't you? You know, it's a pity it's all overgrown and stuff.
They've also had to block it up because somebody's been in.
Yeah. It's got writing on there, mind.
There you go, Kenny. You make that out?
Religion, something big.
Take your torch off a second. Oh, it's just hard, isn't it?
You can read it.
No, not easy. Not easy enough. Not easy enough. If you actually get close up to it and look underneath the hood, Tony, it looks very spooky indeed. The untroubled, humble, peace-loving pagans that came here called this place Medcourt. Medcourt being Healing Island. I think it's interesting that they call it Medcourt and they name it the Healing Island. And it attracts people. Once Christianity arrived, they all wanted to come here too because of the healing properties. And then when they found the people that were doing the healing, the women, they called them witches and killed them. But this...
I think that's in a different land.
It may well be.
It is.
Is it Jewish?
But why? Yeah, I think so. But why?
Hang on. No, it's
Procul...
it's Latin.
Latin.
Hod procul
Latin,
disse.
isn't it? Yeah.
Right. That's in Latin.
Why is that then?
May well be a priest or a vicar. There's the bell tower. This island, they've always bragged how peaceful it is, yet conflict was never far away. A man called, you know, we saw that knight on that gravestone. Prince Urien, no less, of Reged, which was actually Cumbria, besieged the island because Angles from Germany, who later became known as the English, and the Scandinavians were claiming the island for themselves, led by a man called Theodoric of Bernicia, who was already fairly well established here on the island. Urien massacred the Angles and Theodoric escaped up to Scotland, up to Caledonia. And yet, people don't know about the battles and the people that fought here. All they really know about St Cuthbert. Is that all you got when you came here, Kenny?
Yeah, exactly. That's St Cuthbert. That's what you got drummed into St Cuthbert's every time you came here.
No,
Have
absolutely.
you ever seen a spooky
Yeah, mixed with a bush just exploding around it. Did you see the knight's grave, Kenny, here?
No.
Come around the corner, just have a look at the front of that. Now, Cuthbert came here. This is a place of saints. Yeah, there's no denying that this became, from about 555 AD, this place was the centrepiece of Christianity in all of England. And people would come here on pilgrimages all the way through the last 1500 years. And yet, why was Cuthbert a saint? What did Cuthbert do to become a saint? Do you have any idea?
Cuthbert?
What made him a saint? What made him so holy? Let me explain.
They must have just made something up and said, right.
No.
Oh, he did do something.
The Christians would never make anything up. This is why he's a saint. I'm not kidding.
Right.
These are the reasons. He performed miracles. He cured the sick using the herbs that the witches used before the Christians
Right.
killed them.
Yeah.
He could turn water into wine. A crow flew down and brought lard to him to say sorry for stealing straw. He got rid of the king's wife's demons. He cured a monk of diarrhea. A horse brought him cheese and bread. Otters warmed his feet with their fur. An eagle brought him a fish. And he himself built the hermitage here on the island with an angel. He found a lump of wood in the river, in the sea rather, that was big enough to be used on this church. That was a miracle. And that's what made him
So he's probably a warlock.
a saint. But isn't it funny that he used the same techniques that the witches used?
What he got killed for.
They got killed for it. Now,
He got me the saint.
he got made a saint, absolutely. The interesting thing about all of this is, of course, that Cuthbert's body was held here for a while, and then they moved it up to to various churches. We've been to a few of the churches
We have.
that he moved it to.
Yeah, we have.
But did you know that inside Cuthbert's tomb there was a hacked off arm?
Right.
Somebody's hacked off arm. I'll tell you that story when we find Saint Aidan, who's here somewhere. Massive statue. No, we've got to do the challenge, Kenny.
We have.
Oh,
You have.
come round. Come on, Tony, we've got to do that on the petting stone.
I'll let you fall off it. I'm not going.
There's a thing here called the petting stone,
Oh, good idea. Tony can go on it.
which is world famous. Well, we'll see whether or not your relationship will last, too. That's what they say about it. Do you realise how quiet it is here?
So quiet. Unbelievable. The whole island. It's my island.
There it is. This is, I know Kenny loves this place. Now,
I can't even get up on that.
what they say is that if you're in love
would
with
fall.
somebody, well, I'm going to get up, so get ready to catch me.
If you fall on them, you're dead.
If you're in love with somebody, you're supposed to come to the petting stone. Now,
No, we haven't got up there.
people have proposed with their hand on it, and if you do that, you're kind of linking thousands and thousands of years of history together.
My dodgy ankle would just.
Okay, get off, move off then, Kenny. Keep a hand of me notes, if you will, and I'll,
Really? You fall on there, mind.
I'm seeing it.
there.
Give your hand.
It's not easy.
Now, the idea was that you're supposed to be able to walk right the way around it. I would rather,
Fall on that.
do you know, I'm already onto my fifth wife. I think I've already proven my lack
You
of
need to step on there.
my lack of worth. It's just to say that you've stood on it,
Yeah.
Kenny. You know, to say you've stood on something that has the history that this has. This is 1,000 years of history. It's not pagan. If it was pagan, it would be 2,000 years of history.
Yeah.
But
Still,
it's still pretty damn good.
isn't it? You should have
Right.
got a picture on there, shouldn't you?
No, yeah, just let me get off.
Right.
without,
You manage?
without dying. Hang on, I'm going to put my foot
Yeah.
over there and down. That's good. Right, so the petting stone. Now, looking at the abbey itself is amazing, and I got photographs of that full-bodied apparition, and all the guys have seen it. You'll see it too. Can't believe how easy it was to catch a ghost, and it was that easy. Hopefully we can see him. It's just an amazing thing. I don't know how much you can see. Kenny, can you light this up for everyone?
Oh, right there.
Do you know, since we've started using the different colours, people have seen all kinds of things, you know.
With the different
Maybe it's
colours
just images that are picked up in certain hues. Do you know what I mean?
on. Yeah. It looks great on the different colours, mind, doesn't it?
I think so too.
If I take my torch out,
Look at this.
it's like. it
Oh,
is-
hang on. Oh, I don't know whether it's just I've been staring into Tony's lens. Can you see anything over there? Hang on. There. Can you see a figure? Right at the back on the right-hand side.
Shadow.
The shadow? That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, just there.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone. It's gone when you light it up.
Right, I'll take my torch off. Yeah, it was in the corner.
I know.
Isn't that nice?
Can you hear
as well?
voices?
Yeah.
There's something there.
People see you can hear like the seals out to sea and that, can't you?
I'm hearing stuff that doesn't sound, unless a seal can actually have a conversation.
You haven't seen Disney before, have you?
I love the whole Disney thing. Right, now let's, how do we get around here? Not that, oh yes you can, yeah, of course you can. Just,
This movie's got a seal in it. There's the one, isn't it?
seal. Dumbo's got a seal in it, I think.
There's a famous movie with a seal in.
This is where we caught the ghost, Kenny, just along here. just along here.
See in the picture,
It was just there in the middle. And this is Eden. Now, when it comes to saints, I am absolutely a skeptic. I'm a skeptic because their stories have an amazing tendency to be absolutely and totally made up. Now this guy is quite lofty. Look at that face. People have put stones and little mementos and coins and what have you down there, which is lovely. It's the same, but where did they get the idea to leave a tribute?
Yeah.
It's from the old pagans.
Cool.
But it's nice that they do it, and it's nice that they do it anyway. And St Aidan of Lindisfarne, created by Kathleen Parbury in 1958. Now, you know, I told you that when they moved Cuthbert's grave, there was a human arm in it. Now, the story is amazing because this man here, St Aidan, met a man called King Oswald. Now, for those of you that know hospices and the brilliant work that St Oswald's Hospice does, Oswald is that man. Saint Oswald, he became a saint because this man, Aidan, converted him to Christianity.
Right.
And the reason he converted him to Christianity was because Oswald, who was a pagan, was a really kind man, because a lot of pagans were. Now, Oswald was a fighting man, no question about it. He was a war chief. And Oswald, this fella, came to meet Oswald and had a word with him. And he said, I have made a feast for you, Oswald. Dine with deer. We've got venison, we've got beef, and they had all of this meat lying around. And Aidan had really prepared well for this, the king. And Oswald said, no, I'm going to give this food to my servants. And he gave this massive banquet to his servants, picked up a bit of chicken, says, that'll do for me. Bonny lad, probably. Now, Aidan liked him because of that, and he got hold of his arm, and he said, this arm shall never perish. It was his sword arm.
Right.
Now, about 3 years later, Oswald was away fighting. That is you, Kenny. I think it's you, mate. He was fighting the king of Mercia, a man whose name was Penda. Do you hear that?
I heard a click there.
No, there was a...
Just here. Yeah.
You're not hearing that, listen. You not hear that?
I heard something there.
Oswald was fighting. Him and his clan were fighting. He was king of Northumbria. And he was fighting the king of Mercia, a man called Penda.
I know him.
What?
There's a song about him.
What, Penda?
Yeah. Hey, big Penda. No?
Penda, anyway, hacked off the arm that Aidan had grabbed and said that would never perish. Immediately he'd done that, Oswald's on the ground, Penda decapitates him, puts his head on a hook. But his men managed to get hold of the arm, and they bring it back here to Lindisfarne, where it was revered as a holy icon, I suppose. So they put it in the tomb with St Cuthbert.
Right.
As a religious relic, I suppose you would call it.
So he wasn't armless because he still had one.
Don't. Anyway, that arm was eventually sent to Bamburgh Castle. And it went missing. Now, some people say that a dog got hold of it and carried it off and ate it, like a dog came in smelling meat and carried it off. Others say that because the Vikings were coming over and attacking so much, that it needed to be hidden. I know that Cuthbert and his body was moved south to avoid being taken by the Vikings, who they thought the Christians were absolute hypocrites, because They had slaves doing all of their work. And to this day, people believe that the hard-working monks did the Lindisfarne Gospels and all those wonderful writings. Now, the Christians, certainly since the 500s, have written down every single thing they've done, ignoring what anybody else has done who's not a Christian. That's
Weird.
cool. Weird but cool. Now, when it comes to the Lindisfarne Gospels, who wrote them?
The Lindisfarne Gospels.
Yeah, this.
That's the voices.
That was somebody going, ah. Maybe not liking what I'm saying, and that's fair enough.
Who wrote the Lindisfarne Gospels?
Well, you see, the monks say that they did, but every monk that ever did anything famous is written. It says the monk was called this name.
Yeah,
the monk
the name.
They didn't name them. Why didn't they name them? Because monks didn't write the Lindisfarne Gospels.
Right.
I believe the monks hired people to write the Lindisfarne Gospels. So they couldn't put their own name on them.
Right.
And instead of saying, this pagan wrote them,
Couldn't say that, couldn't
or this peasant wrote the Gospels, they just ignored them altogether. Not one single person who wrote the Gospels. Nobody knows the name. And that's because it wasn't the monks here. Although it's still named after them.
Where's this coming from?
Well, necromancer, where you took the picture of the ghost.
Yeah, the ghost was absolutely here. Let's do it. I just was taking a photograph and messing around, really. And there was a figure that walked across the wall from about there to there. I got a photo of him here, I got a photo of him here, and I got a photo of him there. And I just wish that we could have caught that on well, I did catch it on camera, but I wish we could have caught it on video, is the thing. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Who are you? Give me your name. Come on. What's your name?
That sounded like, hiya mate.
Come on, you walked along here. What was your name? What was your name? Sorry? Tony, can you see a figure behind Kenny in the corner? I saw something beside your shadow, Kenny. Give me a name. Come on. No, I'm here for you. Talk to me. Come on, let's head towards those tombs. I've also found a castle that we're going to first that we didn't visit the first time we were here. Grab your balls, Kelly, we're getting very little from the romance. And I know I have a habit of not allowing it to be used more, but I'd rather do it at the castle, at that haunted castle.
Yeah, well, we know the spirit.
What the hell was that? I know. No seal goes, ooh.
No.
Right, here we go. Can you manage?
Can was a torch.
Blimey. Oh my. Yeah, I got my notes, that's cool. So we're going out of here anywhere we can, so through that door I'm guessing. We found a place that we've not been before. Apparently in the 1600s, Holy Island was at risk of war with the Dutch, of all things, and they built a fort especially to defend against any war that we might have with the Dutch. And we've got to get our way down here somehow. What's that? Is that what? What was it? Right, well, we're heading off in, this direction. This goes across the fields, I think. Tony, do you want to lead us? Mm-hmm. Kenny, do you want to get out there with yours as well?
Gold, yeah.
In 73 AD, it was the beginning of the Viking Age, and they attacked this island, the sacred heart of the Northumbrian kingdom. Regular invasions, conquering the land as well as the sea. Alcuin was a Northumbrian scholar who was actually in the court of Charlemagne, and he wrote, "The heathens poured amongst the Christian folk, trampling on their bloody bodies of saints as they stood on their own altars." And that's after they'd already massacred all of those shields, you know, the fishing settlements. What's what? There's a ghost dog on the island that lives.
You hear a dog there?
There's a white ghost dog here.
Where did you hear it going?
To the right of us. That's why I'm thinking, what's that noise?
Just up here? Did you think it was a dog?
Well, yeah, because it felt like it was jumping all over.
There's a ghost white
here?
dog. I'll tell you about it when we get to the lime kilns.
Not now, but it's definitely
Why don't miss it? Did you get the camera?
Oh, this is so good.
it picked the noise up.
Right, come on, let's keep going. We've got a lot to do. Now, while Lindisfarne was being attacked by the Picts and the Scots, the Anglian king, King Ida, created a settlement in Bamborough that he called Urbis Regia. Urbis Regia means the royal settlement, and that's exactly how it remained for centuries. Then eventually it was renamed Bamborough. When we as a nation were conquered by the Danes, the monks said, "We cannot leave our church, for we would die for our Lord." And of course, as soon as the Vikings arrived here on Lindisfarne, they absolutely legged it, and they hid in the wilderness until they could get across the causeway. And in fairness, they did the right thing, because the Vikings knew that they were rich people bullying poor people to give all of their money to the church, and they would have skinned them alive, took all of the skin off every inch of their bodies, folded it up into a book shape, and nailed it to the door of the church. The Scots tried to take all of Northumberland. It led to a thing called the Battle of Corbridge. The Norse leader Ragnall had the English and Vikings fighting side by side to keep the Scots out. That was back in 918 AD. And then the island was given to two Viking chieftains, Skula and Onlafbal. So if ever there was a Viking island, it's this one. Now, the choice we've got, I think, is to go along the coast. It is to go along the coast, which I think is up here.
I'm intrigued by a dog, me. So am I.
Well, I didn't know about a ghost dog
I've
until...
only seen it.
I kind of saw something when I heard it more than I saw it.
Right.
What made you think it was a dog then?
Just because it was kind of a lot of noise, like a lot of footsteps.
Well, this isn't taking us where we need to go.
I mean, you can go down, but I don't know if you do it.
What's down here?
The sea.
Is that the sea? Oh, it will be the sea. No, we need to be down then. Ah, damn. Oh, that leads up to the watchtower. That's the watchtower there. You see it?
Oh, right, yeah.
All along the watchtower. Do 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 do. Hendrix. I'm so tempted to stick to the coast because it's down the causeway where there is a... Oh, look at this. Oh. I don't know what that is. What's that, Kenny?
The boat, isn't it? There's a boat there.
Because this might be the causeway then. We've got to find a fort called Osborne's Fort. It's up here. Yeah, it's along this bit of causeway. This goes right out into the sea.
I can hear something.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? Now we're actually on the other causeway from the castle. You know, there's a causeway that goes round to the castle that way. Yeah. We're on the opposite side, so we've got to get there. Let's get out there and find this place. What they did was they put cannons here to fend off the invasion by the Dutch, but the invasion never came. Warships came here and peppered the coast and tried to pepper the abbey with... What do you mean their ships?
Well, you said warships came.
Oh dear Lord. Sorry everybody, it's going to be a long night. Right. Now that is the sea just there. I don't know, can you light up the sea, Kenny? Can we? Not well. Not well. No? I just know that if you follow the... Yes, it is the right way, because there it is. You see it? That's the fort, or what's left of it. Bite your tongue, Alan. Getting some bizarre bird noises here too. And there it is, that's Osborne's Fort. Just here, Kenny. I don't know what made me come down here. I knew we had to stay by the sea, but big thanks to Google Earth for... Yeah, there's the ghost of a soldier here, and the story is really quite creepy. And I think not just creepy, but sad.
You get like a sense of foreboding.
Can you hear that? Can you feel how cold it is all of a sudden? Yeah. Well, this is haunted. I will necromance here as well. Get the balls. This is all that's left of what was a full-sized fort. a fortification with gun platforms pointed out to sea. Oh, you bugger! Just literally 100% see. Oh,
And noise as well.
100% saw a figure, but not a black figure, a white figure.
Just here.
Yeah, and it just ran, like from there inside. 100%.
Couldn't have been a dog, could it?
No, it wasn't big though. It was more child-sized. Just ran inside. 100%.
It might have been a dog.
When have I ever said I've seen a full ghost?
You haven't? And a voice.
I'm so glad I came here already. Turn yours off, Kenny. Let's.
Wait, I'll get into it then. I'll get into it, I'll turn this off. Put the
I'm just
ball
trying
on.
all the different colours.
Yeah, you do that, I'll put the thing off.
Once you get in, okay.
Put a ball in there, look, and there.
Do it.
Just ease.
Come on, I'm not here to hurt you. Come on. You want one there, Kenny?
Where?
There.
In there, yeah.
There's room for. I'm going to sit here, so there's another one there, Kenny. Put one there. All right. Right. Take yours off, Kenny.
Right up.
If there's anything here, make yourself known. Now the story here of the ghost of Osborne Castle is an interesting one because I've only ever found it in one place, and it wasn't online. It was in a very, very old book. 1600s, the Dutch were doing battle with England, not Scotland, but England. So the king decided he was going to set up a castle here. I believe it was King James I of England and 7th of Scotland. And what he decided to do was put gun ramparts here, pointing out to sea, so that if ever the Dutch came, they'd be ready for them. Although what a couple of gun emplacements would do against an invasion force, who really knows? The war never came. 10 years afterwards, they'd had a full detachment of soldiers here, costing money, living out in the wilds. So the king said, let's backpedal just a little bit. Let's put a soldier here just to keep an eye on it. And then if there is any trouble, we can send more soldiers to the fort. So this one soldier stayed here. Although he was paid every month, he was forgotten about. 29 years later, he died here in this fort. Totally forgotten about. And the story goes that he was so committed to defending this fort that was his fort, that his disembodied spirit lives here to this day. Now, when I was coming in, I jumped because I saw a figure kind of crouched, really quickly scurry into this area here. Now, there's nothing here. There's nothing here at all. I mean, nothing of substance. Just the ramparts itself.
wonder what's under that.
It's probably lumps of stone, I'm guessing. Yeah, you can see little bits of stone this side if you had a look. Let's see what's a little bench here so you can sit down. Grab the balls, Ken. Nothing happened when we were in there, mind. Oh, but I didn't necromance. I really must. Can you, in fact, leave them there? I haven't necromanced, so let's give that a try. Let's give that a try, because you never know what you might get if you necromance a bit. Kenny?
Yeah?
Hup, 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 hup. Catch it on your camera.
Got it. That one's going.
That one, we got one going, Kenny. Tony?
I'm going to put this one in here.
There was one going there. Ball over the far side there, just went. So, let's kill this. That was a bird. And let's necromancer tad in the darkness. Come on, soldier. Are you here? Who's with us? Did you hear that? Not the necromancer, did you hear that?
What was it? I didn't hear it.
Oh! Did you hear it, Tony?
From your side.
Hang on, let's go.
She was making you see it.
Grab the balls, Ken. We're coming, Tony. I'm getting a language that actually sounds like Norse. Those of you at home will be able to make it out far better than I can. I'm doing this torchless as well, so. It's a Rothbury tail. Because you know how they roll their R's. It is, oh my goodness. Could you imagine trying to take on a place like this? And there's your castle. You know, you see that little tiny bit.
Yeah, you've got to try and go.
This is the castle here. Look at it. Whoa. I know.
How did it build?
I'm hearing footsteps in the mud.
Down there?
Yeah. Listen, shush. Hang on.
It's noisy.
Can you hear the footsteps, Tony?
Isn't it? I don't want to go down too far. I'm about to fall off there. Look at that though.
It's amazing, isn't it? The necromancer's gone. Don't know what's the matter with it. It's literally just gone off. Listen. It's the voices of the dead. Voices of the dead on the waterside. Really? Right, if you would like to join us, and I hope you do, We haven't gone to the main place, the place that we found that was incredibly haunted the last time we were here. We're heading back down the causeway to the castle and beyond to those underground lime kilns. That's where we're heading. We hope you'd like to come. We're getting voices. We're getting a little bit of all kinds. How do they do it if they're not already a loyal and trusty supporter?
If you're not, just hit the link in the video description of this video and then join on either Facebook or YouTube. Part 2 will be there for you.
Please come and join us. We would love to have you with us. Meanwhile, we're getting footsteps from the causeway where there's nothing but water and ships.
They're moving them boats though.
Yeah, well, they'll be floating, Kenny. That's what water does.
Yeah, look. Going sideways. See them? See the movement, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, let's make our way back. We've got to get right. We're going past the boats, but past the other boats. What the hell was that? It sounded like it was over here.
Someone in pain?
That was loud.
Really loud.
God, I'm going to have to necromance here now, aren't I? What the hell was that? Necromance. Come on, son. Work, 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 work. Oh, there we go. Got him. There he goes. Come on. Come on. Light it up, Kenny, before we go. Give it a last dusting, because this might be the last time we're ever here. To Osborne's Castle. Oh, never mind. Am I on a trail here? No.